There is a moment in a man's life when everything shifts, not because he becomes stronger, but because someone small starts watching him like he's the whole world. Whether you answer the call, ignore it, or never heard it, this message is yours. Hi, I'm Henri Tex. I make videos to help curious minds figure out what's next through the lens of transformation, legacy, and meaning. Most of us start life orbiting around ourselves, concerned with our own emotions, our own needs exclusively, and keep ourselves in the center of the picture. That's not selfish. This is just how we all start. But life often offers another choice, another experience. Will you be willing to carry something else beyond yourself? Will you be able to think about something else that's not only your own needs and desires? Will you carry something heavier than your own weight? Some men take that on, others ignore that call. And unfortunately, some never even get the chance to hear that in the first place. That moment of profound transformation that's not only about yourself, but about others, that's an important gift that comes to most of us, one way or the other. The shift is that very moment of the call. And it's not about age, it's not about attention, it's about awareness, about understanding what lies ahead. And the moment that you say yes to that journey is the very moment that you start a huge adventure full of pain and joy. It's bound to transform you profoundly. Fatherhood isn't a choice. Fatherhood isn't a milestone. It's a forge. When you undergo this profound transformation of character and you accept that call, you will start to transform yourself in something else. The stiffness of our personality and own desires start being hammered down by the demands of a new life. And that friction is a fire that makes us grow. You don't enter it ready. You enter it raw. There's no preparation for changing diapers, for sleep deprivation, and so many other things. That forge is a very strong fire that burns everything that's shallow about your own self and your personality, and leave something else to arise anew from the ashes. Off it goes your vain time, ego, some would even say your freedom. In comes something else, something that's not perfect, full of scar tissue, but definitely stronger, made of deeper tissue. The man that emerges is not a perfect man, but a forged one. This process is so powerful that studies shows that actually fatherhood rewires one's brain, transforming through neuroplasticity, through a deeply strong, engaging experience, your works into something else, so you can withstand the pressure, withstand the new demands. And that transforms one's personality, especially if you allow yourself to fully live this experience. Transforms yourself in a different man, in a different matter. That neurological transformation increases brain activity in regions of brain wired for empathy, for emotional regulation. Not all men enter that forge. Some of them never answer the call, stay in the sidelines. Some others never get the chance to answer the call, and are even still those who just waited too long, and then that opportunity is gone. Yesterday, I was having a beer with a friend, and he was sharing that he found out after a long time that he was a father of our 19-year-old girl. It's not to me to give the details, because it's a profoundly touching and moving story. And he was the one that answered the call, did some poor decisions when he was a teenager, but had a family, had children, and now is coming to grips with his actions in the past and fatherhood in the present. I learned so much about his experience. I fought off my own children. I fought off my own journey. And so many friends that are in these three brackets. Some never wanted to have children. Some decided that they wanted too late. And some that just waited for something to happen. But the shift never came. The recent studies in the last 5 years show that 1 in every 5 men in North America are opting to never have children, contrary to most of the education that probably you and I had back in the day, that demographics were exploding, that the problem of the planet was the excess of human beings. Demographics collapse in most of places. Even places full of bustling with life and people like India, the demographic curve is already in inflection. What's happening now that will only be felt visually in the decades that are coming will show a very different reality that's already happening. The rate of men not wanting to have children has doubled in the last 6 years. And yet many men that never had children speak of a profound grief of a part of their life that went unlived. I get it. This is not for everyone, and I'm not trying to say what's right and wrong. I'm just empathizing with that silent grief, especially because I'm in this midpoint of life. I have friends that are older and friends that are younger, but all of us are halfway there. And lots of folks saying they wish they had. That wishful thinking will be something they will carry away. The underlying question is actually beyond fatherhood. It's about men becoming something else. Because there are those that, although they can't have children or decide not to have children, they decide to undergo this transformation of taking on responsibility over others. Maybe taking care of elderly parents. Maybe they dedicate themselves to a cause. They go in religious service or military service, or they go in some sort of devotion to their craft. But many are left stranded, halfway there, not sure if they want or they don't, halfway in a half-life. And that's becoming more and more common in a deep postmodern angst that leads to disintegration, a collapse of purpose of what you had in life. Not gonna lie, there are days that's very hard to have a lot of responsibilities over children and family. There are days that you don't know if you're doing right. There are days that you cry, that you feel a little bit crushed. But there is this sense of purpose and reason and meaning that compensates far more than what it asks in return. My message here is that reconstruction is possible. Meaning is possible. Meaning can be made again. At the heart of this transformation, there is this profound change, shifting from ego, shift from egocentrism to allocentrism. Egocentrism, you're centered on your own self. Allocentrism, you're centered on others. So the needs of the others come first before your needs. And that will lead to a transformation in how you behave, because you start to serve more. You start to ask for less. You start to ask more of yourself. And you start to serve in a very counterintuitive way. The satisfaction that comes to serve others and to give yourself, to protect and serve, it's unbelievably far greater than when you're just fulfilling your selfish needs. The changes were from asking, what do I want, to what do the others need me to show for? Who needs me to show up? Sometimes this transformation comes when we become fathers, but sometimes it also comes when we devote ourselves to our companionship, to our relationship. And it's not unusual that this can also happen when we need to take on the responsibility of take care of our parents, or even sometimes when we lose our fathers. And then we look to what emptiness that's left, and we are called to step in and fulfill those shoes. But sometimes this never happens. When it doesn't happen, it can get ugly. A man who never shifts is a man that remains untethered, unformed, unmade. Part of our journey to become, to grow, demands this deep transformation. And when we never undergo this deep transformation, we get stuck. And when we undergo this deep transformation, we get stuck. This transition from ambition to offering, from self to service, this is the essence of the shift. Let me tell you about my son, Ricardo. Ricardo is full of life, and sometimes he's running everywhere, sometimes he's playing, sometimes he's crying, sometimes he's eating boogers, sometimes he's asking wonderful questions. But one thing that he all the times shows me, a kind of a mirror. Not a mirror of myself, because he's his own world and his own person, but a mirror of my behavior in his strive to grow. He uses as building blocks for his own personality. That mirror that I see in Ricardo sometimes is a source of deep shame, but often is also a source of deep enlightenment. A second chance, an opportunity to grow with him, witness something far bigger than myself that will stay far long, hopefully, than when I'm gone. It's not about me, it's about that life that will carry on. And knowing that the responsibility of what's happening, when I'm looking to my son, when you're looking to a child that you have responsibility over, you earn a second chance to become who you wish you were, to improve yourself so you can give to the little guy the best chance possible so he can live a fruitful life. This is where legacy begins, not through money or memory, but through character. Through character, passed through action. This kind of intergenerational connection creates the future anew in silence. A profound silence revolution happening in you and your children right now. So what if you never had a child? Does that mean that you won't have the chance to live this beautiful experience and legacy? Not at all. That's not what I'm saying. Some of the most impactful men never had a biological child, yet they impacted generations. Through their thoughts and actions and behaviors, they embedded multiple seeds, multiple people. So their own character could help seed new things, rise anew. Those are our often forgotten teachers, mentors, role models, folks that walked this land before us. And we would do good to render some reverence. And bearing a child or not, we can strive to be like them. Fatherhood isn't about blood. It's about offering. It's about building what will outlive you. What will I leave behind? Who will carry something that I gave freely out of grace and joy? Even in a world that institutions are collapsing, that everything around the normal order is being disintegrated, you can still make a huge difference and build something. You have the power to create. You have the power to endure. A world without children is a world without memories. But meaning does not require biology, it requires presence. Who are those that their lives are craving for your service in your presence? This is the shift. This is the moment that life stops being about you and starts being about the others that needs you. It starts being about service. To the fathers, the almost fathers, the never fathers, you are seen. You are here with me. I see you. And I crave our brotherhood so we can together help to build anew, because this is sorely needed in the middle of this shift that we are experiencing right now. And to the ones that stayed at the door, that never answered the call, never had the opportunity to answer the call, I see you too. You are also invited. This is your chance. Join the shift. In the end, it's not about legacy, not about masculinity. It's about something far better, eternal. It's about something raw that will take possession of you if you allow true service. It's about love. Allow yourself to love the others through service. That raw, inconvenient, eternal feeling, that's what men hide. That's what we have been hiding all along. You don't have to hide it anymore. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone that you know that carries it in silence. Join the shift. I appreciate you being here. I see you in the next video. Subscribe for more videos like these and reflections. Let's walk forward together.